Hello, this is teddygaming and welcome back to another review on the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles TMNT, the UK magazine's issue number 10, and oh boy, this is possibly going to be the worst TMNT comic they've ever made, and there's a few reasons for it. One, it's mainly the artwork, and two, there's just a few things in here that's just, well, I tried, but when you see it, I think you're going to be like, yeah, okay, that's bad. So, yeah, let's just get into this one and get this one over and done with. Okay, so first start off with Mikey, Don, Cody and Splinter. They're all in like a police station, and we do get to see one of the police officers talking to Mikey, saying that he's done all these bad things, and Mikey's trying to get out of it, saying that he hasn't done much bad stuff and it's other people's fault and stuff like that. So that's when they do come up with a bright idea to basically have the turtles go along with the peacekeepers and like see what they do to try and see like basically if they can like figure something out with the turtles and the police, and that should be an interesting thing to see. However, there is something really bad about this storyline, and it's the fact that we do get to see Cody in this scene telling the police basically the turtles have done all these great things for the city. They put away criminals, like basically like the big bad ones and all that, and yet the police are still like, yeah, well, you know, you've done some bad stuff, so you should go to prison. And I think it's a little bit stupid because of that, and you know, I think that like it's an interesting storyline, but I think that this like whole storyline should have been done before they've done all the saving and stopping all the villains and stuff like that. But I think it's an interesting storyline. It's just like I wish they did it before all that stuff, because like when you hear that from Cody, it's just like why are the police are going after the turtles? It's just doesn't really make much sense. But it's there, I guess. So in the next scene, we do get to see the turtles all crammed in the car. Donatello's filming it, he's trying to make a documentary out of it. And as we do go into the next page, where I do get to see the first criminal act, and I am very surprised that they put this in a children's comic, and this is something which I did read as a kid, and I'm surprised that they put this in, because I do get to see a man naked, and I just don't know where to begin with this. It's just, yeah, what do I say? It's interesting, I'll say that. It's unique. What do I say? It's, yeah, okay, you know what, let's just move on. So then the next scene we do get to see Mikey. He's fiddling around with the car and trying to get things out, so basically the turtles can go into a more interesting location. And that's when they do decide to go into the old Manhattan area, and that's when they do run into a street gang called the Tiger Sharks. Now I think that with this bit here, it could be really cool because, you know, it's new villains and they do sound really cool, and it just feels those like, with these characters here, they should be like a bit more of a big threat and have a bit more importance and stuff like that, but it just feels so weird that it's here. I mean, I feel like it would make more sense and better if it's just like random criminals and didn't really have like a gang name or anything like that, but the fact that they do, it makes me like think for like there's like a lot of history with these characters and stuff like that, but as far as I'm aware, they don't, so I'm not too sure, and it's just weird, but like, the characters are really cool, they look really cool, but it just feels weird that like, they don't do much in this comic series, or in, or actually even show up in the show itself. But then going into the next page, we do get to see the turtles actually fight them, and do take them out quite easily, but as well we do get to see some returning villains from this comic series, which I must admit, I was quite surprised at, and I think as a kid, I didn't really understand it, but I think that like looking back on it now, it's like actually pretty cool, because like these comics don't really have too much in terms of like continuity wise, and like in like old villains and stuff like that. So I must admit, it's pretty cool to see old characters come back, and it's interesting to see that they do have a bit more of importance in this comic series rather than just being a one-off villain. So we do get to see Siren from, I believe it was issue 6, the one with the robot art rising, and he's got a new look, and it's a bit more of an interesting one. He's like a big killer robot, which he does look really cool, I can't deny that. We do get to see Sludge from issue 2, which I wish I could be a bit more excited for him, but he's just there, but he just doesn't really do anything. And we've got, was it Zero? I'm not too sure. But either way, we do get to see the person from issue 7, the person with the anti-grav gauntlet thing. He's made a return, and I must admit, I was looking forward to seeing his return, because I think he was a pretty cool character in that issue where he did make his first appearance. He did do like a lot of good things in that one to make go, yeah, wow, he's a really great character, but here it's just disappointing. And the reason for that is just because he doesn't really do much, and he's just there mainly, but oh god, I wish I could be more excited for him. So next scene we do get to see some more police come and they throw gas down, and that's when Turtles like sort of get knocked out, and that's pretty much it for this issue. Now overall I do feel as though that this whole storyline was really interesting, but I think that this story would have been better had this like whole story been like come out before the show, just so that like basically have a bit more of a build up to the Turtles actually fighting the bad guys and stuff like that, and it would make a lot more sense why the Turtles like do stuff in the show and stuff like that. But I think having it here after like knowing that Turtles have fought like some of the baddest criminals such as like Triple Threat, the Street Phantoms and stuff like that, it just comes off a little bit weird and basically the police don't want to know them anymore, so it just feels a little bit weird on that front, but it is still a pretty interesting storyline. And even with the return villains, it was something which I was quite surprised at, just because I really wasn't expecting it, and you know, reading as a kid, I don't really think much of it. I didn't actually know what was happening in the actual comic. I saw the pictures, but like reading it now, I must admit, it's pretty cool to have like some continuity in a comic that normally wouldn't. So I do like that side of things, but I just wish that like the characters did a lot more rather than just being there and just doing stuff just because they're there. Now the artwork, oh boy, where do I begin with this one? I think that for some characters in this issue, I do think that they do look really great in terms of like this art style, but in terms of other art styles, I do prefer them a lot more. But oh boy, the Turtles. I just don't even know where to begin with the Turtles and how the artist drew them. I mean, they're interesting, that's for sure, but I think this possibly could be one of the worst looking versions of the Turtles for like this comic, and maybe one of the worst ones from like any like Turtle comic. And that's a real shame because it's fast forward, but oh god, I really wish I could say some nice things about this one. And just some other weird things in this issue that was just bad. And I don't even need to talk about the Nude Man anymore. It's just, oh god, how did I get away with that? Oh god. But yeah, I think overall this whole issue was a bit of a letdown. I was expecting a lot more, but with what we did get, oh god, I wish there was a lot more like good stuff. I think the whole story could have been good for like an actual episode of the show, but I think that what we did get in this one was just enough. But it's really made it really hard to actually like these comics. So they tried at least. I think that's one way of looking at it, maybe the only way of looking at it. But yeah, they tried.